Hey guys, today I want to speak about the real meaning of happiness. Not a lot of people have really deeply contemplated on the meaning of happiness. I think most people mistake pleasure for happiness. To put it short, the real meaning of happiness is a state of your mind and your body, but your mind and body are interconnected. But your mind is more important than your body because your mind affects your body very strongly. So, what do I mean by a state of your mind? To put it in a scientific manner or more more simple manner, your happiness is a chemical state in your body and your brain. Of course, you already know this, but there are chemicals that are responsible for your happiness, but those chemicals, that chemistry in your body and your brain doesn't happen by itself. So it is not like that something your brain, the neurotransmitters, the chemistry of your brain happens by itself accidentally and makes you feel good or bad. The deciding factor that changes the chemistry of your body and your brain is your mind. The human mind is very complicated, but it doesn't have to be complicated. If you simplify it in a way that is understandable, like understanding that your good thoughts, your pleasant thoughts create good feelings in your body, and if those good thoughts are prolonged, are regular, you feel joyful, you feel happy. And if you majorly have bad thoughts, negative thoughts, thoughts of disappointment, pessimism, and the worst one, thoughts of hate and anger, of course you're gonna feel miserable. The question remains, how do you change that? So to to create a more pleasant and happy environment, internal environment in yourself, majorly, at least for most human beings, we only have access to two things that we can change to create joy and pleasantness within us. You can either change or create change through your body or through your mind. You have to do both, but I'm going to explain first the body. It's a very simple manner that you know if your body is not feeling well, most probably you'll not be feeling happy. Most people think happiness is something that is result of your external situations, like Most people are so attached and disconnected from their true nature that really believe that happiness is achieved by having this and that, or being in a certain relationship. But in reality, those things may provide you comfort or pleasure, but they don't give you long lasting happiness. So you can create pleasantness within yourself through your body or mind. So I was telling you, if you if you create a healthy body, for example, a healthy body doesn't mean just to not be sick, but a body that is full of energy and vibrant. That is one way that you can generate a lot of happiness. On the other hand, imagine you have all the things that you want in your life. You have the relationships, you have all the cars and houses and whatever. But you have a bad disease. You already know that sometime you may have a disease. It may be a like bad physical pain, a headache, a flu, a virus, or something that made you feel so lifeless or so painful, and how bad it was. Just try to remember it for 1 second. Can you say, if you had that pain in your body and that feeling of being down or depressed or lack of energy, can you say, if you have that and I'll give you the whole world, all your wishes are fulfilled, how can you feel happy? If you have a lot of pain, how can you feel happy? So, on the other hand, it may be that a lot of things in your life are not happening that the way that you want it, but there are people who still can feel great, although not everything is happening in the way they expected. Well, I hope you haven't tried any addictive material or drug or whatever, but one time I was talking to a friend who had a little hard time getting what I'm saying. He said, like, what do you mean that I can not achieve my goals and like not have the wealth and whatever and feel happy? And well, a lot of people smoke things like marijuana and similar things, right? And the way I explained this to him said, have you ever like in one of those times that you smoked that thing or you took that drug or whatever, and maybe a minute before that you were so messed up that you felt like, I'm super depressed, I don't want to live anymore, and after that you're feeling great, you forgot all your miseries, you've been feeling so high and everything's perfect, I don't have any issues, even if there is an issue it's not affecting me, I'm so empowered, I think my mind is now more clear, I can change anything. right? The situation in the life, the environment didn't change. Your internal environment changed. So what I said about like having a pain, sickness, something painful, and not being able to enjoy all the things that you have, and on the other hand, not having those things, not everything happening according to your expectations, and by changing something in your body, in that case through a wrong method, which is not long lasting and has side effects like smoking weed or something, and creating a temporary state of bliss within yourself. So this proves a point that your happiness is a pleasantness, a feeling of pleasantness or joy or ecstasy within yourself. The problem is, the biggest problem that we have in this world is that people are seeking happiness and joy through the wrong ways and methods. Everybody is seeking the same thing. Somebody may be a seeker of like success and achievement. Somebody may want to achieve power or wealth, or somebody is a pleasure seeker. Somebody is seeking spiritual experiences or God. But ultimately, everybody is seeking the highest state of pleasantness. I'm gonna repeat this. People supposedly are seeking different things, but what is behind all those things? It's pleasantness. It's the ultimate feeling of satisfaction and pleasantness. Would you go after those things, like your goals, your power, your social status, your relationship, if those things made you feel bad, made you feel low, depressed? Would you? No. So you are not seeking those things. You are seeking what it provides to you, or let me correct myself. You are seeking the experience that those things create in your body and your mind. Think about it. So if you want to one day really know yourself and start to enjoying life more, you have to contemplate on this, that of course we seek external things in life as a trigger to help us achieve some pleasure or comfort, but ultimately the happiness that we're seeking is a state of your mind. Now that makes me go to the subject of personal development, and specifically personal development as development of body and mind, like doing exercise, and the most important things, the mental exercise or meditation or spiritual practices. That is a very broad term, and a lot of people think of it in different ways. So don't think that you already know what meditation means. Meditation doesn't mean sitting like this and like not thinking about anything and like getting disconnected from world or those things. Meditation or any other practice like that, you may call it something very different, in simple manners. One of the big top things about meditation or the goals of meditation is to create the, that state of pleasantness, happiness, peace, joy that most people are seeking through other means, which is not anyways going to give it to them, because it only lasts for a short time. If you get your car, your house, your relationship, you may have a blast for a while, but it goes away. That is why we always seeking for new experiences, because the nature of human being is that you can never be happy and satisfied just by getting this thing and that thing and this car and that car, and you want to get new experiences. That is also why there have been a lot of people who were extremely wealthy and they had anything they ever imagined. If they willed to have just about anything in this world, they had it. And they reached a point that they felt there's nothing else for me to experience. The life is meaningless for me. And they committed suicide. I'm not saying all the wealthy people are like that, but there are some people that if they seek happiness and like satisfaction merely in their wealth, that is where they are going to actually feel extremely unsatisfied, to the point that they feel like, why should I keep living? There's nothing for me. That's why one of the most important things in the life is to have a certain understanding of your life, to have a meaning in your life that motivates you and makes you endure the hardships of life and challenges. For many people, that can be providing to their families. For some other people, making some changes in the world, maybe in politics, maybe in economy, maybe in technology. For a specific few people, it can be achieving their spiritual goal and accomplishing what they feel is the reason that they were in the first place born here. There is a lot of things to talk about, but just to summarize, happiness is a state of your body and your mind. And as I was just talking about meditation and practice as something something like that. Any practice that you can do to produce happiness within yourself without being dependent on external situation. Mostly mental practices, and after that physical practices. Let me explain. Imagine I talked about that experience talking to my friend about using a drug to create some great feeling and happiness. Now imagine you have a tool like some meditation practice or something that you can use to push a button and release that happiness within yourself. Wouldn't that be great? The main thing here is to know you may not be able to create a feeling of ecstasy and joy like using a drug with 1 day meditation. But what I want to say is that now you may understand that by achieving certain mastery over your body and mind through some practices and a lot of things, you can create a certain feeling of pleasantness and happiness and joy and sometimes ecstasy within yourself. And that is achieved through regular practices of personal development. That can be many things. So I talked about the mind and meditation and creating happiness through your mind. Let me also briefly explain about what do I mean by using body as a tool for creating pleasantness. The very first thing, if I want to explain this in a more clear manner, in the ancient science of yoga, there is this concept that different bodily positions and different states of your body create different states of your mind and consciousness. And we have the same thing as a science today in many forms of psychology, that we say, for example, if you are like sitting like this, you may start feeling low energy and depressed. And if you're sitting like this and your chest is out and expanded, you feel more confident and things like that. So your physical body, your physical posture affects your mind a lot. So that's a very simple thing to let you know that even your posture can affect your happiness. This is for real. A lot of people may quickly think about this. What? Imagine like if you have a lot of good things happening for you and you're happy, and I change your physical posture to something painful, like I make you like stay like this for 1 hour, you're gonna start feel extremely miserable and painful. On the other hand, let's say if you just practice something like a physical relaxation exercise, which I hope you already done and you enjoyed, but if you haven't done, start trying that. A relaxation exercise. There are many different forms of it. like the big one that I love, yoga nidra, which I talked about in my podcast. You can go back to my podcasts. It's probably the second podcast, and check it. So if you do a something as a simple as relaxation exercise with your body, then you're gonna start feeling great just by doing something with your body, just by lying down in a certain manner that makes your body relaxed and releases your tensions. And some people even experience a feeling of peace and happiness or calmness that they may never even experienced before. They change something about their body, so they experience that relaxation. Now, if we ignore all these things and just go and follow the things that most people follow and think like them, we're gonna get to the point that unfortunately a lot of people are getting, especially in this country, which has the highest number of depressed people and highest number of people with psychological issues. Then if we don't use our body and mind, which are the greatest and the most important thing, and actually the only thing we can use to create pleasantness within ourselves, then a lot of people end up going to doctor and psychologist and taking antidepressant and drugs to fix that feeling, that chemistry of unhappiness, which we may be able to fix it just by changing our mind and body in a certain manner, by doing some yoga, meditation, breathing exercises, changing the way that we think, and achieve a much greater happiness. And people don't do that, and they may end up in this psychiatric hospital or taking antidepressant or whatever nonsense to feel good, and then they get to fix one thing, they may get 100 other side effects. That is not the way to achieve satisfaction in life. Of course, if somebody is in a really bad situation, definitely they need to go to doctor and get help. And a lot of people who are like in some advanced stages of how do I say that? Advanced stage of suffering with psychological issues and like high levels of depression may not be able to get results from these practices, at least not instantly, and they need to get help. But I hope with all the things that I said till this moment, which was very, very brief, and it takes at least like a 400-page book to just explain a little more about this. I hope now you understand that in this lifetime, for you to become satisfied and enjoy your life, there is only one way: changing the way that you think and changing the way that you perceive the world, changing your personal philosophy and your approach to life, and changing your state of your mind and your body with meditation, with exercise, with eating healthy, with avoiding as much as possible, avoiding chemicals and synthetic drugs and anything that is not coming from nature as much as possible. And all those things that you know. And I keep talking about it in my podcasts and my writings and whatever. I really wish that every single person in this world starts to realizing and implementing this, so one day we will have a world full of perfectly joyful and happy people who are not seeking happiness in the wrong places, even trying to extract happiness from other people, trying to hurt other people to feel good within themselves. This is all a big mess. The way our societies are made and learned to think about the meaning of life and how to be happy by seeking the wrong things, it's all a big mess. We need to fix this. I wish you all the biggest happiness, joy, wealth, abundance, and health, and the ultimate realization. Thank you so much for watching.